Hello, you are most welcome. I'm teacher Ivan from Wuna Educational Services. I welcome you to our second lesson of Senior 1 Physics Calculations. In the first lesson, we were getting the introduction to measurements, where we discussed about the physical quantities. And now that we know all about the physical quantities, let us dive deep into each of these quantities. Our first quantity is the length. So since we are looking at calculations, we are going to look at the calculations that are in length. We shall start with the conversion of the units of length. When we talk about conversion, that's when we change from one unit to another. Otherwise, to go deep into what length is and how do we come to conversion, to start with is the definition of length. Length simply means the distance between two fixed points. That's length. And length is measured in meters as the SI unit, or the standard international units of length is meters. Then, however, besides meters, we have other units of length, and they are summarized in this format, where this is kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter. So this is the SI unit of length, and these are other units of length. And therefore, we are going to be looking at how we convert from one unit of length to another. We are going to use this formula to simplify our conversion, whereby if we follow the formula, to memorize this formula, we shall use King held, your daughter Mary drank cold milk. And now we play with our zeros and our ones, whereby from this kind of conversion formula, if I want to convert from one to another, I can easily trace. For instance, from kilometer to meter, I'm at kilometer to meter, so that is 1,000. Then from hectometer to meter, that is 100, meaning that 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters, and 1 hectometer is equivalent to 100 meters, and 1 decameter is equal to 10 meters, and 10 meters are equal to 1 meter is equal to 10 decimeters, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters, 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters. So it's a matter of moving from what you want, or from what you are converting from, to what you want to convert to. Otherwise, if we are moving from left towards right while converting, we shall always multiply. For instance, from kilometer to all these other units, we shall be multiplying. From kilometer to hectometer, we multiply by 10. From kilometer to decameter, we multiply by 100. Then from hectometer to meter, that's hectometer to meter, we multiply by 100. So from this side going the other side, we multiply. For instance, if I have 2 decameters being changed to centimeters, I will say 1 decameter is equivalent to 1,000 centimeters. Then 2 decameters will be 2 times 1,000 to give me 2,000. So when moving from left to right, we multiply. Then the reverse, from right towards left, we shall divide. For instance, if I'm converting from meters to kilometer, I'll divide my given meters by 1,000. If I'm converting from centimeters, maybe to decameters, I will still divide my given centimeters by 1,000, so that to get the decameters. So let us look at some of the examples. From that table, we've seen that 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters. 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters. And then 1 centimeter is equivalent to 10 millimeters. That is if we are moving from big to small. However, the reverse, when we are moving from small to big, we shall divide. So where we have 1 kilometer equaling to 1,000 meters, it will give us 1 meter equaling to 1 over 1,000 kilometers, because we are going to divide both sides by 1,000. Then from 1 meter equaling to 100 centimeters, when I divide through by 100, I'll end up with 1 centimeter equaling to 1 over 100 meters. So mean that if I'm dividing if I'm changing from centimeters to meters, I'll divide the given values by 100. Still, from 1 centimeter equaling to 10 millimeters, it implies that when I divide both sides by 10, I'll end up with 1 millimeter equaling to 1 over 10 centimeters. So if I'm converting from millimeter to centimeter, I'll divide my values by 10. That is how we shall convert. I want us to look at the examples. Let's look at examples. In our first example, we are told to convert each of the following as instructed. And part A is where we have 1.25 kilometers to meters. So since I'm I'm changing from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, because kilometer is bigger than a meter. It means that on my table, I'm moving from left towards right. So I will multiply. And therefore, I'll multiply 1.25 by 1,000 to give me 1,250 meters. So from bigger units to smaller units, we multiply. Part B, we have converting from millimeters to decimeter. Millimeter is smaller than decimeter, and that implies that I'm converting from small unit to a bigger unit. Therefore, I will divide. However, from my formula, I see that 1 decimeter is equivalent to 100 millimeter. And therefore, I'll need to know what's the equivalent of 1 millimeter. So since 1 decimeter equals to 100 millimeter, then I'll divide both sides by 100 to give me 1 meter being equivalent to 1 over 100 decimeter. And that implies that since I have 1 meter equaling to 1 over 100 decimeter, therefore 15 millimeters will equal to 1 over 100 times 15. The same as 15 divided by 100 to give me 0.15 decimeters. That is how we shall convert from one unit of length to another. Otherwise, let us go to our example 3 or part C, where we are converting from hectometer to centimeter. Hectometer is a bigger unit and centimeter is smaller than hectometer. So mean that we are moving from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. Therefore, we shall multiply. From my formula of King held your daughter Mary drank cold milk. So I note that 1 hectometer is equivalent to 10,000 centimeters. Therefore, if 1 is equivalent to 10,000, what about 12? So we shall multiply 12 by 10,000 to give us 120,000 centimeters. That is how we shall convert from hectometer to centimeters. Then example D is where we are converting now from decameter to kilometer. Decameter is a smaller value compared to kilometers, and therefore from small to big we shall divide. However, we've seen that 1 kilometer is equivalent to 100 decimeters. What about 1 decimeter? We shall divide by 100 on both sides, so that we get 1 over 100 equals to 1 decameter. And therefore 1 decameter equals to 1 over 100 kilometers. What about the 150 decameters? It would be 150 divided by 100, or 1 over 100 times 150. So when we divide 150 by 100, we shall end up with 1.5 kilometers, implying that therefore 150 decameters are equivalent